let's just start from the basic concept of trigonometry. So I'm going to keep on asking you very simple questions, and you have to constantly let me know that you already know those things and that you have understood what is written on the screen. Okay, you just have to keep on answering as I ask you. So for example, just tell me, okay, if you have seen something like this before, sin x.
Yes.
You have already seen, right? Obviously. Then cos x also, and then tan x also, right?
Yes.
Okay, then tell me what is sin x, 1 by sin x?
Cosec x.
Yes, cosec x. And 1 by cos x is?
Secant x.
Yes, secant x. And 1 by tan x is?
Cot x.
Very good. Okay, so you understand the basic. Now let's come to the next topic, which is basically known as the most famous formula of trigonometry, used almost everywhere, which is sin square x plus cos square x equals to 1. So you already know this formula, right?
Yes.
Okay. So if you know this formula, do you also know that if I divide these angles by 2, then can you tell me what would be the answer?
Is it 2?
No. It is still 1. Okay. Yeah. So this is basically the format of the equation, which is the most important formula in trigonometry. And as long as the value of the angle is same and the format of this equation or your formula of this formula, if the format is same, then the answer is always going to be equal to 1. All right. For example, if you want to put the value of the angle, you can put any value. You can put it y square by 5, but it has to be same. Then it's always equals to 1. Is it all right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you understand this basic concept, let's move on to the next simple concept. That is how to remember 2 more formulas just by using this basic formula. Okay. So what we are going to do, we are going to divide this by sine square x. Okay, let's first of all divide by cos square x. First of all, let's divide by cos square x, and tell me if you already understand how we are able to obtain this equation. So are you already clear with this?
Yes.
Okay, like when we divide on both sides, this is what we will obtain. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, and if we divide by sine square x, we will obtain another formula, which is 1 plus cot square x equals to what I have to write on the right hand side?
Cosecant square x.
Very good, very good. So these are 2 more formulas that you can easily obtain by using the very basic formula of trigonometry, which is this one, right? So you can easily remember 2 more formulas. Remembering formulas this way is actually very helpful in exams, because you can always go into the exam with 100% confidence that even if you forget the other 2 formulas, you can always recall them by using a simple method of dividing it once by cos square x, then sin square x. And then now I'm going to show you that almost all the formulas of trigonometry, which are also used in differentiation and integration, basically start their journey from this formula only. Okay, so if you understand this, you would be able to understand the rest of the formulas also. For example, there is a very important formula of sin x family. I like to call it sin x famous formula. And the formula is of this format. Sin 2x equals to 2 sin x cos x. Right? This is something I can surely say that you must have already seen in your class 12th maths. Right? Sin 2x equals to 2 sin x cos x. So if you understand this, you already now understand that I can easily divide the angles by 2, but I have to divide each angle by the same thing. And if I do so, I would be able to obtain a formula that looks like this, which is actually the formula for sin x, which means sin x can be written like this. All right. So this is the next important formula. Now, why I'm teaching you all this, I'm going to tell you right now. There is a very important question of integration which comes in your board exams also, as it is, which looks like 1 by sine x by 1 minus sine. So can you tell me, okay, how we can solve this question? Do you already know something about this question, or if you do not know, then it's absolutely fine. But if you know something, how we can proceed with this question, you can also let me know. I would like to know how would you like to proceed with this question. This is a 4 marks CBSE board exam question, and it almost always comes in board exams.
So we can substitute the value of sin x in places.
Substitute. If we substitute sine x, you are saying t equals to sine x. Is that right?
Sorry?
You are saying t equals to sine x, the substitution, right? Or you are asking me to put this over here?
Yeah, I was asking about that. Substitute
Yeah,
the
yeah,
value
yeah.
of sin.
Yeah, substitute the value of sine x, that is 2 sine x cos x, right?
Yes.
Okay, that could be a very good start. So let's just take this question over here. 1 plus sine x divide by 1 minus sine x. And to solve this question, we would have to first of all derive a formula for 1 plus sine x. Okay, so what we are going to do, I'm going to write directly over here. And I think you are smart enough to directly understand this. And I would just like to see if you can get this conversion in just one attempt without me explaining to you. If you do not, let me know. But if you already understand what has happened to write this equation, I would be finding it very appreciable from your side if you already understand it. If you do not, that's also fine. Then I will explain. So do you
So
already know how I was able to write this?
yes, because 2 is uh,
Yeah, this is 2 sine x by 2, cos x by 2. And this
related
can be
to
written
formula.
as, yes, this can be written as sine square x by 2 plus cos square. Is this what you are going for to explain?
Yes.
Okay, and by adding them, you can easily find that this is actually a square plus b square and plus sign over here and 2ab, which can easily be written as a plus b whole square. So that would be simply this thing. Is that all right?
Yes.
Very good then. Very good. Okay. If you are already cleared with this, then I'm going to just write down for 1 minus sine x. I'm going to write down for 1 minus sine x. And 1 minus sine x looks like sine x by 2 minus cos x by 2 whole square. Right? So this is for 1 minus sine x. Now, I hope you're not writing down anything, because writing down anything is not required in my classes, because all the notes that you see on the screen will be simply provided to you just after the class, because I'm taking screenshot just after every slide when I'm about to erase everything. Do you
Okay.
understand? So
Yes.
you don't need to write anything, and all the formulas that you will see in this class, and plus many more formulas that you need to understand using the process that I'm going to follow to make you understand these formulas. The same way, there is a detailed PDF that contains all these formulas in the color format, which means the way I'm using color, the same way the colors are being used in that PDF also. So that PDF would also be provided to you. It's a 22-page PDF of only trigonometry formulas which are required for your class math. So I will
Okay.
forward you that PDF also. All you need to do is take out the printout of that. And after the class, you just need to provide me with your email address so that I can provide you with these notes. All right.
Sure.
Okay. Very good. because on email I can easily forward and your WhatsApp memory won't be used. And also that from email you can, if you sometime want to like just download them and keep them in your folder on computer, that would be a very good thing. After that, if you do not want to take any print out of those, that's also because notes are going to be at least minimum of 25 pages for one class. So taking 36 classes into 25 becomes a lot of pages, so taking printout of them would be a very difficult thing, right? Taking printout of so many things, so instead of taking the printout you can simply keep them on your computer in a very detailed manner, right? With written as class number with it. So that would be like already handmade notes for you. You don't have to write anything. All you need to do in the class is give your 100% attention and focus. All right,
Okay.
that's it. Okay, so do you understand what I have written on the screen? That I have simply written 1 plus sin x and 1 minus sin x in this form.
Yeah.
Is it clear? Okay. Next, I would like to write is taking the whole square for them and writing them in the bracket. That is sin x by 2 cos x by 2 divided by sin x by 2 minus cos x by 2 whole square. So this is also clear, right?
Yeah.
Yes, very good. Now what I'm going to do in the next step is going to convert it in the tan format, which is I can divide this by cos x by 2, this also by cos x by 2. Doing so, I will get tan x by 2 plus 1 divided by tan x by 2 minus 1. Is that
Okay.
all right? Very good. After that, I'm going to take a rough section of this board and try to explain you and make you recall a formula that we are going to use in this. And for that, I'm going to take this as my rough work to remind you of a formula that I'm going to use now, which is actually of tan x plus y format, which is tan x plus tan y divided by 1 minus tan x and tan y. Do you understand this formula? I think you have already seen this one.
Yes.
Right. So if you have already seen, so if I change these values of x and y to pi by 4 and x by 2, then I would be able to obtain something like pi by 4 here, x by 2, and there was tan written over here. So pi by 4, x by 2. And I think you already know the value of tan pi by 4, right? What is the value of tan pi by 4?
1.
Yes, it is 1. Okay, so if it is 1, I'm going to put the value of 1 over here, which would be 1 and 1. Now you can clearly see that this 1 in the denominator cannot, if not be written, that's also all right. And now you can clearly see that the format that we have here is the same format that we have here, just with a minus sign taken common, right? Just that thing. So all we need to do is take a minus sign common. All right, so we will do so that we are just going to consider that we are going to take the minus sign common from this. Okay, let me just take a screenshot of this first, that I'm directing it over here. Okay, so yeah, so now I'm going to remove this, and I'm already considering that I'm taking a minus sign outside, and since I have a square, this minus sign would simply get neutralized, right? So I think this is already an understood thing. If I'm if I'm directly writing it as like 1 plus tan x by 2 divided by 1 minus tan x by 2. Is it already clear? I've just taken a minus sign and also rewritten the terms of in the numerator, right? So I think the simple conversion is there. Do I need to make it more clear, or is it clear already?
It's clear.
Okay, very good. So you can clearly see that since this thing is equal to this and this is equals to this, so I have to put this value back in the main question. And when I do so, it becomes tan pi by 4 plus x by 2. Now the rough work is no longer required. I can remove this because we have taken. Oh, wait a second. Yes. So rough work from here is not at all required now. I can remove this and use this space to solve this question further, which is to writing it equal to tan square pi by 4 plus x by 2, right? I've just taken the square and written it properly. Now I'm going to take a little more of this rough space and make you remind a formula that we have just learned, that 1 plus tan square x is equals to sec square x. Is that right?
Yes.
So by considering that, I can keep the tan square x here, but I can take this 1 to the other side and write it as minus 1, which I can obviously use in my original question, and writing it would be writing it equal to sec square pi by 4 plus x by 2 minus 1, right? So I think this is all clear. Okay, so I can now remove all this rough work as well as this this, because we have come far in the question. So we are almost there. So I'm going to rewrite this whole question again as sec square sec square pi by 4 x by 2 minus 1 bracket close and dx outside. All right, this done. Can remove this. Now I have converted this question into this format. Now, do you already know the integration of sec square x? Do you know what is the integration of sec square x?
Tan x.
Very good. Very, very good. So if you already know this, I'm just going to write the solution for this by using the formula you have told me. That is, I can write it as tan x, tan pi by 4 plus x by 2 divide by 1 by 2. Do I have to also write 1 by 2 in the denominator?
No.
Okay. Do I have to or not have to?
You have to, but you can
Yeah,
write 2
yeah,
in the numerator.
yes, I can write 2 in the numerator also. That is also brilliant. Okay. I can write 2 there also. I can write minus sign followed by this, and then only x plus c. So Anand, this is Anand. Okay. So your yeah. So this is your final answer. This what you have just learned is the answer for this question. All right.
Yeah.
This is the answer, and this is your question, and this is a ready-made 4 marks question in your board exam. Okay, you can easily find it in CBSE previous year paper. I will show you later. Okay, so this now I'm also now going. I think I've made my point clear by simply showing you that the relevance of understanding the basic trigonometry to in solving the questions of integration. So is the point clear to you?
Yeah,
If
it is.
not, yeah, it is. I'm going to still show one more question from the inverse trigonometry, which can easily be solved by using this concept. So in inverse trigonometry, there is a question which looks like cos x minus sine x. Actually, plus is there. Cos x minus sine x. Right? The question is there in inverse trigonometry. I guess this is from exercise 2.2. And I guess question number 8, if I remember it correctly. All right, so to solve this question, all you need to do is divide numerator denominator inside of the bracket by cos x. You will obtain tan inverse 1 plus tan x divided by 1 minus tan x. And now since we have already understood how to convert this, I'm just directly going to write it as tan pi by 4 plus x by 2. And I think I don't even need to explain how I am able to write this, right? I think it's already clear.
Yeah.
Okay, so the answer is your pi by 4 plus x by 2. That's it. This is also a 4 mark question. 4 marks is not about the number of steps we have written over here. It's about the knowledge that we have, that we can convert this in the form that is so simple. This knowledge is awarded with 4 marks. Okay, it's not about the number of steps. It's about the uh, amount of knowledge is required to be able to solve this in just 2 steps. Understand? That
Yes.
is valuable here. So that is also a 4 mark question. Now, the next topic that we have to learn, okay, the next topic we have to learn is actually trigonometric quadrant. And after you have understood the trigonometric quadrant, which I will make you understand in a very detailed manner, after that I would be solving 3 questions on the board just by myself, and you would try to understand them, and then I will provide you with 3 questions on the board which you would solve with my help, and then again I would provide you 3 questions which you would have to solve all by yourself. Okay, to
Okay.
completely be able to like be sure with this that you have understood each and every concept that we studied in this demo class, right? And only after that I will be able to award you that you have passed this demo class. All right,
Okay.
and then you're prepared for regular classes. For the speed and intensity that we require to complete the syllabus in 36 classes with 100% understanding of each and every concept. All right, so but before going to the trigonometric quadrant, I would have to just show you just few formulas of cos family. Okay, let me write cos here. So cos family, I would like to call it. And the most famous formula for cos x comes from the understanding of cos 2x formula. And cos 2x formula is very easy. It's simply cos square x minus sine square x. That's it. This is the formula for cos 2x. And from this, you can obtain 2 more formulas, which is you can easily write cos square x as 1 minus sine square x, right? And this
Yes.
also nice one. By collecting them, you can rewrite them as 1 minus 2 sine square x. So this way, you don't need to remember this formula separately. You don't need to remember this formula separately. You don't ever need to worry about this formula, because all you're going to do is actually remember this one, which is actually very easy. You can always remember that there is a formula of cos 2x, which is simply cos square x sine square x with a minus sign between them. How hard it is? Obviously, it's very simple. And from this, you can remember to derive this formula by using simple technique of difference or trigonometry, right? So I
Yes.
guess it's very, very simple to remember a formula this way. And since we can do it once, we can do it twice. All right. What I mean by that is this time I'm going to convert this in the other form and just copy paste. And then I would be able to write another formula for cos 2x, which is 2 cos square x minus 1. I never have to remember this formula. And if anybody even asks me, okay, what is the formula of cos 2x in sine square x form? I can never tell it in just one attempt. First, I have to remember my basic formula, and from there, I'm able to derive it. It takes me 2-3 seconds only, but I'm 100% sure when I'm able to come up with the formula, I'm always 100% sure that the formula that I have in my hand is absolutely correct because I have gone through the correct method of deriving it. Is that all right? This gives
Yes.
immense confidence to an individual because the individual now not have to worry about remembering formulas, right? Because the most anxiety type of thing or stressful type of thing comes from this fact that you have to remember lots of things to get them right in the exam, right? You have to remember them at your tips. But if there are so many things to remember, the student, even if the student is well prepared, even if the uh, even if the even the best of the best student can go basically very in like doubtful manner towards themselves before going to the exam, like would I be able to solve each and every question like that, would I be able to remember each and every formula. So to minimize their stress, I think a way to remember the formulas would be a logical approach in which we are going to always study, because that's the only way I am able to remember the formulas 24/7. I never have to worry about whether I can remember. I am always sure because I know the methods. Okay, so this is three more formulas for you, which are very important because when we are solving questions for differentiation integration, we would see the use of these questions. So for now, we are just going to move on to the next topic, which is the trigonometric quadrant, and it is the most beautiful concept that is there in trigonometry, and it is very important because you have to make use of this concept in inverse trigonometry questions, and also then in differentiation also, but mostly in inverse trigonometry. Okay, without this under basic concept, inverse trigonometry is the most difficult chapter of class 12. All right, but with this concept, inverse trigonometry is just one class concept. In the next when we start our regular classes, the first class would be of inverse trigonometry, and that is all we need to finish inverse trigonometry. That's it. If we understand this formula in next 10 minutes, that's all. Okay, so we have this quadrant. Are you able to follow to follow the class till here?
Yes.
What's going on and what our ideas are?
Sorry?
What our ideas are for this class and what we are doing in the class and how we are going to proceed later on. Is all the ideas clear to you?
Yes.
Okay, so now in this quadrant, and also one more thing, Anand, when there is an update going on the Zoom, so the issue with that is for right now, for this class only, the class would actually would have to restart. Okay, so it would restart in 8 minutes. Okay, so what you have to do is, okay, if this class disconnects, you have to immediately join back. All right, by using the same method for which you use that. So you simply join back. All right. So I
Okay.
hope that works. All right. So this is the thing, and but still, let's see if we do not need. Okay, so two, we have this quadrant in which this is plus x, this is minus x, this is plus y, this is minus y. Now, next thing you have to understand is how to measure an angle. So to measure an angle, you measure it with respect to the positive x-axis. In this case, this is theta, right? If this is theta, this is also going to be theta, but I am writing in a different color to show you that everything has its own value of the value of theta, because it has to start from the positive x-axis, right? So I am able to now represent to you the measurement of angle with respect to x for different types of. Okay, so in this one, I'm considering that I have taken a complete root. Okay, so that would not be right. It has to start from the positive x-axis and then come. So this is theta. Are you able to understand this
Yes.
distinction? Right. Okay. Simple measurement of angle presentation. Then next thing you have to understand, just tell me, then if this is the format that we are following, then you, I guess you can easily tell me what would be the value of angle theta for this arrow if it is lying on the positive x-axis.
180 or 0?
180 or 0 or 0?
0.
0. It should be 0. Okay. The next you tell me what would be the value of this axis.
90.
Yes, this would be 90. Then this would be
180.
180. Very good. This would be
270.
270. And if I keep on going and come back to the first line again by taking a complete round, that would be 360. Wonderful. Okay. Now, I guess you also already know that 180-degree can be written as pi, which means this can be written as pi by 2. This can be written as 3 pi by 2. This can be written as 2 pi. Is it also clear?
Yes.
Very good. Next thing I would like you to understand is simply let's just mark the values of these angles. Okay, so for this I'm going to write 0 degree, and here I'm going to write 360. 0 is obviously 0 only, but 360 can be written as 2 pi. This is, I'm going to write over here 90 degree to represent it in the angle for degree format, and this is radian format. So is it clear? I hope
Yes.
nothing is confusing.
No,
Okay,
sir.
I'm going to write 180 degree here and pi value here to represent the same, but in different formats. This is 270 degree, same thing written in the radian format. Okay, so just writing it in two different formats, but doing the same thing. So the angle measurement basically goes in this way, that this direction is known as positive direction of measurement. But if you try to go in the opposite direction, which is this, then you have to consider that as negative measurement of the value. All right. Do you already understand this?
Yes.
Okay. So I can just simply move ahead with telling you that if we have angle theta and if we want to come to the second quadrant, okay, so I can easily add pi by 2 value to this, and I can simply then measure this again from the first quadrant positive x-axis, which is the basic requirement for measurement. Then I would have to write this whole value as pi plus 2 theta. Is this clear to you?
Yes.
And if I want to come to third quadrant, I would have to add pi value. And from the starting, I would have to calculate the value as pi plus theta, right? The same manner can be done for this, that I would have to, this would be 3 pi by 2 plus addition of value. And from the starting, it would be considered as 3 pi by 2 plus theta. All right, I'm going to do one more example for the same thing. Suppose I have taken a complete round turn and come back over here. So what I have done is I've actually added 2 pi, and when I measure from the starting, it is 2 pi plus theta. Is it also clear?
Yes.
Very good. Very good. So a very simple thing I need to explain now, that is, you can easily see that if I'm here, that is angle theta, I can come to the second quadrant by from this direction by writing it pi by 2 plus theta. But there is one more way of coming to the second quadrant, which is from the opposite side, and I have to consider this axis, but I have to use a minus sign. Is this also clear?
Yes.
Right, now let's say I need to go to the uh, third quadrant. Okay, so first of all, I forgot to write first, second, third. Okay, first, second, and third. All right, and fourth. The first quadrant is defined as the angle measurement between 0 degree to this. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, this is how we define first, and then rest of the angles also. So I hope I don't need to write, but I'm just writing for one more. That is the second quadrant. So it is less than pi and greater than pi by 2. Matlab, the range lies from pi by 2 to pi. So this is how you keep on defining. Okay, so what I was explaining you is that how we can bring this angle theta in third quadrant. So for that, I have to, if I'm considering the positive direction, I have to consider this direction, the pink color direction, and by that means it's a positive direction. And also I have to consider the axis that is there, the first axis that I will encounter. So I would have to write this as pi plus theta to come to the third quadrant. And if I want to use the opposite direction, I have to use 3 pi by 2 minus theta to come in the to come in the third quadrant. Is it clear already?
Yes.
Okay. If I want to come to the fourth quadrant, what I need to write?
Pi minus theta.
Huh?
2 pi minus theta.
No, for this pink color.
Oh,
This
okay.
yeah, for
2
this
pi
what I
plus
do? Huh?
2 pi plus theta.
2 pi plus theta. Are you please see the direction and the axis? Axis is 3 pi by 2.
Oh, sorry, 3 pi by 2 plus theta.
Yeah, 3 pi by 2 plus theta, no?
Huh.
Yeah, 3 pi by 2 plus theta because you are going in the forward direction. But if you want to come from the negative direction, which is the backward direction, you have to consider this value and you have to write 2 pi minus theta. Is this clear to you?
Yes.
Okay, if it is clear, then I'm just going to ask you few questions. Okay, so but before that I'm just going to tell you one basic concept and then we move on to that concept. So just 1 second, remove this everything. Okay, this also, this. Okay, so what I need to explain you now is that the value of theta is from 0 to 90 degree for first quadrant. And if you consider any trigonometric function, sine or cos, okay, for the values from 0 to 90, okay, 0, 30, 45, 60 degree, 90 degree, okay. So all these values, if I write the values, these are 0, 1 by 2, 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2, root 3 by 2, and 1. And for cos, the values are 1, root 3 by 2, 1 by root 2, and 1 by 2, and 0. Are these values already clear to you?
Yes.
Okay. And you can simply observe that all these values are positive values, right? Positive. All these values. If you divide these two, you will obtain the values for tan theta, right? Which would also come as positive. And for that, 0, and this would be 1 by root 3, this would be 1, this would be root 3, and this would be infinity, right? All are positive values. So what I wanted to show you in this is that if the value of the angle is from 0 degree to 90 degree, which is the first quadrant, then all the trigonometric functions have positive value if the value of the angle is of the first quadrant, which means if the trigonometric function sine, cos, tan, cot, cosec, sec, all these trigonometric functions, if they are given a value of theta, and if that value of theta is between the range of 0 degree to 90 degree, which is the definition of first quadrant, then all the values are going to be positive. This is a fact from trigonometry. So to represent this whole statement in just one attempt, I can simply write over here all that all trigonometric functions are positive in first quadrant. Is this idea clear to you?
Yes.
Okay. So this is just for the first quadrant, that all the trigonometric functions are positive in the first quadrant. But the same is not true for the second, third, and fourth. In the second quadrant, only sine family is positive. Sine family is sine and cosec. So they are positive. Then in the third quadrant, tan family is positive. Tan and cot. In the fourth quadrant, cos family is positive, and cos family is cos and sec. Okay, so these are the respective quadrant and their respective families in which they are positive. Okay, now to remember this, you can just take, you can just take, you can just consider, like, just write them S. For this, you write T. For this, you write C. And for this, you write A. And that positive sign is understood. So A, S, T, C. This is the order. And how do you remember it without any tension is you remember it as add sugar to coffee. Now can you remember it very
Yes.
smoothly? Right? You just have to remember add sugar to coffee and you know the direction of sugar. By that way, you can remember everything of this concept, right? So this is the technique to remember. Now, all I need to ask you is give me some confirmation on few angle changes that I will do here. Then you have to tell, okay, what I have to do to bring that angle in the first quadrant or other quadrants. Okay. So let's say this angle theta is there. And can you now tell me okay, if I want to bring this angle theta to second quadrant, and if I want to take this direction, what I have to write over here?
So theta plus pi by 2.
You also always call it pi by 2 plus theta.
Okay.
First, you write pi by 2 plus theta. Okay. Now, if I want to come from the opposite direction, then
So 3 pi by 2 minus theta.
how 3 pi by 2 minus theta? Where is 3 pi by 2?
Pi minus theta.
Pi minus theta, right?
Yeah.
Pi minus theta. Now, if I want to come, bring this theta to fourth quadrant. Okay, tell me for fourth quadrant from this direction, from the from the respective positive direction of measurement of angle. Okay, this is the positive direction angle. If I want to bring this theta in the fourth quadrant.
So 3 pi by 2 plus theta.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Okay, now I'm going to keep on challenging you by asking. Now tell me if I want to bring this theta in the third quadrant from this direction.
Pi plus 3 theta.
Pi plus theta. Very, very good. Now tell me if I want to bring my theta value in fourth quadrant, okay, fourth quadrant, but from this direction, then what I have to write?
2 pi minus theta.
Very good. Very, very good. Just tell me the last one, which is if I want to come to the third quadrant from this.
3 pi by 2 minus theta.
Very good. Very, very brilliant. Very nice. Okay. So you have understood this also. Next topic to understand is after that, we will do questions based on this, on the combination of everything we have understood from quadrant. Okay, so next topic you have to understand is, which is already from this only, that there are going to be two types of things that you would see in this format, which is you could see pi by 2 type of format. Pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, dot 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 dot, which basically means divide by 2. Okay, divide by 2 type of things. So whenever you see this type of thing, you simply tell yourself, you simply tell yourself that there is going to be a change. Change of what? Change of trigonometric function, which means if such things are present in your question, then all you have to remember is what the changes are going to be. So the change is that sine changes to cos. Sine x will change to cos. So I'm just going to write actually sine. Okay, sine will change to cos. Cos will change to sine. Tan will change to cot. Cot will change to tan. Can you remember this?
Yes.
Sec will change to cosec. Cosec will change to sec. What do you think? Can you remember this?
Yes.
Very good. This is one type of thing. Other type is you could see pi, 2 pi, this type of thing in your question. Then you always tell yourself there is going to be no change, which means there is going to be no change, which means sine will remain sine, cos will remain cos, and dot 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 all the other. So I'm going to write the last one, which is cosec. I guess last one is always the cot. So I'm going to write chord. So chord will remain chord. Okay, so it's same thing. Okay, so this is for when you have pi, 2 pi type of thing. So can you remember this also?
Yes.
Okay. Now you have understood almost everything. Now we are start going to solve questions. So I'm going to write 3 questions and I'm going to solve it by explaining it very clearly. So the question is, I'm going to start from a very basic question. Very, very basic and very easy question. Sine pi by 2 plus theta. Okay. Then I'm going to write one more question. Cos pi plus theta. I'm going to write one more, which is tan 3 pi by 2 minus theta. All right. So
Okay.
how we need to start with this question is कि first you come to the first question. Okay, the first question, and then you identify which type of question this is. Is this a change question or no change question? So the first question is a change question because pi by 2 is present there, which means you simply just take this sign and change it to its respective change that we have just seen, which is cos for this case. So you write cos theta. Now, the second thing to identify in the problem is okay, what quadrant this is. So pi by 2 plus theta is second quadrant. And second quadrant is positive for sine family, right? Add sugar to coffee, which means sine family is positive. And the question is in the format of sine. You always have to consider the primary question in the LHS side. All right, so you have to consider that trigonometric function and you have to find out which quadrant this is. After you have found out which quadrant, which trigonometric function is there, you can easily find out whether there is going to be a plus sign or minus sign. In this case, we are going to have a plus sign because we are in the second quadrant, and in the second quadrant, sign family is positive, and our question is having sign as its function. Is the concept clear to you?
Yes.
Very good. Next is next question. I'm simply going to identify the problem. This is a no change question. This was a change question. So no change question, cause copy paste to the answer. Next thing to identify which quadrant this is. Pi plus theta is third quadrant. Third quadrant positive for tan family. Our question is having cos. I'm going to get a minus sign here. Next question. Next question is having 3 pi by 2, which is a change type of question. Tan simply changes to cot theta. And then you have to identify which quadrant this is. 3 pi by 2 minus theta is third quadrant. Third quadrant is positive for tan. Our question is in the format of tan, so we will get a plus sign over here. Are these all these 3 questions absolutely clear to you?
Yes.
Very good. Now you have to start taking questions. If you are able to solve these 3 questions all on your own without my help, without me needing to correct you, then you can simply pass this class by these 3 questions only. But if you fail, you will get another 3 questions. So it will keep on repeating until you are able to answer all the 3 questions without my help with absolute corrections, right? No need help and you have to find out the answer. Okay, so I'm just going to write over here very difficult questions. Obviously I'm going to take the easy questions, but I'm going to give you difficult ones. So we have sec pi plus theta, then we have cosec 3 pi by 2 minus theta, then we have cot, which is pi minus theta. Okay, now you can start telling me how, or start telling me the answers. Okay, so the same way I have explained in the process that I have followed, you have to also follow the same process when you're explaining me each and every question. So you have to tell me that in this manner. Okay, in the first question we have we have to identify which type of problem this is, so we can easily see that this is a change, or this is a no change question, because uh, we have pi, so this is a no change question. So sec changes to, well, nothing simply. So I'm not going to explain everything. I think I've made my point clear that how I want you to answer these questions, right, by guiding me to write the answers. Okay, is that
Yeah.
all right?
Yes.
Okay, you can now start telling me the answers.
So sec pi plus theta is minus sec theta.
Pi plus theta is minus 8. So you are directly telling me the answer. You have to guide me towards the answer by telling me that this is a no change question. You have to tell me each and every step.
Okay, so it's a no change question because there's pi. So
Yeah,
and it's in the third quadrant.
very good.
So in the third quadrant, it's only tan family that's positive.
Yes,
So we are getting a negative sign, and sec will remain the same because it's no change.
yes, very good.
Theta.
Very nice. Now come to the next question.
So um, in this, it's a change question because it's 3 pi by 2.
Very good.
And so cosec will be sec.
Very good.
But again, since it's the third quadrant,
Yes.
only tan and cot are positive.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be minus sec theta.
Very nice. Very nice. Very, very nice. Next question.
Um, so next question, it's a no change question.
Yes, very nice.
So cot will remain the same, but it'll have negative sign because it's the second quadrant.
Very beautiful. Yeah, very nice. Because it's second quadrant. It's a
So
second quadrant. Quadrant only positive for sine family. So we will get a minus one. So congratulations, Anand, because you have actually answered all these questions correctly. So I'm going to award you that you pass. All right. All right.
okay.
Okay. So now I can tell you about the process that I follow in the classes to maximize our productivity and understanding of our concepts. So this class that we have done today is called as the zeroth class. Okay, this is the foundational class. The foundation is basically based on this class only. So when we meet in the next class, which is going to be our first one, so the class is going to be of 70 minutes. All right, 70 minutes. In the first 10 minutes, you would be given two questions, 5 minutes each, and you have to solve these questions and send me the answer on WhatsApp immediately once you have solved. So basically, let's say the class, consider let's the timing of the class as 7 for just for the example. Okay, so starts at 7 and 7:10 you are supposed to send me the pictures of the solution on my WhatsApp. After seeing the solution and after I am being convinced that you have completely solved these questions correctly, and these questions are going to be based on the previous class, that is the demo class that we had. So in the next class I would be asking you the same type of questions only that we just solved right now to pass this demo class. Next class also, in the first 10 minutes, I would be asking you two questions based on this concept, just to see how much you are able to retain the information that I basically explained to you in the demo class. So based on that, I would be able to devise a structured manner program, uh, just for myself, to find out how I can maximize your understanding or process of like completing the whole syllabus. Okay, so for that I need to find out how much you are able to retain the information. Right after that, when we are done with the 10 minutes part, there will be a 30 minutes concept learning part with examples. So you would just be doing listening and understanding. For next 30 minutes, you can simply just take rest and just enjoy the concept learning with examples, and each and every concept will be touched and done in such a manner that you would already feel so prepared कि when I ask you to solve two questions for me based on 30 minutes concept learning that we just did. So I will provide you with 10 questions, I will provide you with 10 minutes and two questions, and the same process you have to follow. You have to solve the questions, send me the solution on WhatsApp. I will check the solution and then I award you whether you have understood this concept absolutely correctly or you need some clarification. So if some clarification is needed, then we discuss more on the same topic with more examples. And after we are done with the process, when we are about to finish the class, we will discuss lots of homework, and we will discuss the timing, क्या कहते हैं, what we are going to do in the next class. Okay, so we will do in this prepared manner. All right. And how the homework needs to be done is basically, first you have to download the NCRT app on your phone. Okay, so first you have to download the NCRT app, and in that the NCRT textbooks are already there. But what I'm interested in providing to you is the solution of each and every exercise and question, so that whenever I give you the homework, let's say in the next class, we finish inverse trigonometry, understand it completely, then we finish. And then we have a next when we have our class just a day later. Okay, let's just say if we have continuous classes, so the only possible way you could come prepared in the next class is by going through the solution of each and every question. You don't need to do homework. If you want to do homework by your pen and pencil, it's okay. But if you do not want to do that and just want to understand each and every just problem, and in the question that you would need to write down in your paper, then you do. Otherwise, all that is required from you, for me, is that you have to go through the whole homework. Like for example, if I give you the homework as exercise 2.1, 2.2, and miscellaneous exercise. Okay, so this is actually the whole chapter inverse trigonometry. So what I would require you is that no matter what happens in your life, you are always supposed to come to the next class at least this much prepared that you have at least gone through the NCRT solution just at least once. Okay,
Okay.
that would be the minimum criteria for uh, for the preparation, for being prepared for the next class. Minimum criteria. All right, maximum would be going through each and every question, solving it completely, understanding everything. So that would be doing the maximum level. But the minimum I require is you would have at least gone through each and every problem from the NCRT solutions app, just scrolling down like you scroll Instagram. Okay, that's it.
Okay.
So that would be the required thing. So yeah, that would be all. So without wasting any time,